Why 95% of wholesalers have failed to do a deal in 2025. Guys, it's Rick in. And if you stay with me till the end, I'll give you a 5-step action plan to make sure you are successful in wholesaling. But before I get into it, do me this favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so other people can find the truth out about wholesaling. The truth of the matter is most people get excited about wholesaling. They're super excited. What can I tell you? That's how I started out. I'm a full ADHD guy, and it was just a great fit for me. I can't explain it to you, but most of you start out with one single action and you rely on it to try to be successful in wholesaling, and it's what holds a lot of you back. And guys, it's simply motivation. We all get motivated at some point, and all motivation is a spark. Here's the truth. Motivation just gets your attention towards wholesaling and basically excites you, meaning you kind of go all in and you're figuring out what the theory it is, you're doing the education and everything like that. But I'm here to tell you, motivation's not going to last. You are going to have to replace motivation with your own personal accountability. How do I do that? Number one, understanding motivation alone, it is not accountability. It is not. In fact, if you rely on motivation, it is the fastest way to get out of wholesaling. Now, we need motivation to start the spark, but after that, you have to become educated and you have to figure out how to get started in wholesaling. So the first actionable step I want you to take towards accountability is just go over to freewholesaling.com. I can explain to you in detail, if you have no money, how to get started in wholesaling. I've had hundreds of thousands of people have success here. You are no different, but you're going to have to incorporate the values I teach you in this video to have a shot at success at wholesaling. So the real question is, why do we struggle with accountability? I have my own theories on it. I avoided accountability for a big part of my young life. And I decided in my 30s, I'm going to be accountable for everything I do going forward. And wholesaling was no exception. I found wholesaling when I was 33. And I learned quickly, as I told you earlier, motivation is not accountability. It is just a spark. It kindles the fire. So look at accountability. It's not the wood you put on the fire. It's the pit you build around it to make sure the fire is always lit, to make sure you have plenty of firewood, and make sure the fire stays contained. And most importantly, make sure that wholesaling fire stays on. So what I want to do is go over you today and show you how accountability and how to take accountability for your own wholesaling success, because nobody ever talks about this or teaches it to you. So we have to understand. So the first thing we have to understand is, I'm going to confess, me and Zach created a monster. We gave out the entire wholesaling course for free, and some of you take it for granted. In fact, if you think back when we teased about taking it away, there was actually widespread panic. And the thing is, we don't appreciate some of the things we have in front of us. So I'm just telling you, free can be very distracting. Even I admit it. I love free stuff. Who doesn't love free stuff? But you can take free stuff, treat it just like a regular full-on $10,000 course, and you will treat it differently. Some of you just take freewholesaling.com for granted, and that means even if you took my course for granted, when you pay somebody 10 grand, you're going to have the same problem. See, because you're always going to be looking for something new. You're going to get that shiny object syndrome. And that's when it becomes wildly painful, because the grass is always going to be greener on the other side. You have to learn how to dig into that grass, maintain that grass, and most importantly, grow that grass and flourish. And that's what accountability is all about. So we have to talk about, there's lots of courses out there, but the one thing I've noticed in every course, it's the same thing over and over. In fact, most of these courses are people who get together, they get groups, they have trainers, they have everything else, and they share all their information and they tell you what works in their course. And then they take a little bit from this person's course. And by trying to use other people's ideas to be unique, they all do the exact same thing. I've noticed this. So I've been in the business almost 24 years, and I just noticed it's the same mantra. So one of the reasons me and Zach created freewholesaling.com is because nobody else would do it. Everyone's like, you got to pay 10 grand. And I go, that's absolutely insane just to learn wholesaling. And obviously we did that 5 years ago, and you guys have reaped the massive benefit for it. But here's what I've learned. What most wholesale courses or real estate investing courses, let's just put them all in one big area, is they have two things. And it's real simple what they have. Their instruction. Everyone tells you it's all about instruction. Instructions are just words, guys. You can read instruction off of a PDF pamphlet. So instruction is just information. And the other thing is, most of the courses, they're just like affiliate links. And what do I mean by that is, I pay whatever, 5, 7, 10 grand for the course. And then they tell you, hey, follow this instruction. Okay. And then they tell you to go ahead and sign up for all these affiliate links so we can accomplish our goals. Mr. Coach, those affiliate links are like $1,200 or $1,500 a month. All that software, the skip tracing services, the list stacking services, that very advanced go high level CRM. Yeah, but you got to pay for that. I don't have any more money. What do you mean? See, a lot of these programs, you pay for it thinking you're getting everything, and you find out after the fact that they're just going to sell you a bunch of other products that they have not created themselves, and they get paid an affiliate commission off of them. How much? Between 40 and 50%. So if you spend $1,200 a month, they're pocketing $500 or $600, and then they're going to throw the final caveat and say you got to go spend marketing dollars. Now, I agree with that, but if we're doing it for free, we don't have the marketing dollars. The problem is I paid the coach up to 10 grand up front. I'm paying $1,200 a month for all the additional affiliate stuff that's required in their course that I didn't know until after I signed up. And number 3, I got to go scrape up money for marketing. And this is where a lot of people just go off the rails. You should actually do the math in opposite order. You should put your marketing budget in front, figure out what you have to do for CRMs, whatever companies you need to achieve your results, and then add up that number and then see what the coach wants to charge you and see if it makes mathematical sense. In fact, if the coaching industry did it that way, the sales would probably be cut in half. And it's just the absolute truth. You got to know what you're getting into. So the real question is, if I'm just getting instruction and affiliate links, which is most of the courses, it's just the truth, guys. And when I say affiliate links, these are good companies that help you achieve your goals, but you didn't anticipate that additional cost. And that could all cost you an extra 10 or 12 grand a year. And you need to know. So my question is your wholesaling coach being accountable to you? And that's the bottom line. You see, if you give me 10 grand and I give you instruction and affiliate links and I meet with you once a week on a Zoom, how am I going to be accountable to you? We all know you have to be accountable. You got to do the calls. You got to make the text. You got to write the contracts. You got to meet with the sellers and you got to dispo your deals. But what if you're not being successful? Real simple for the coach, say you didn't follow the program. And the truth of the matter is, did you put things in place to ensure my success? And here's the truth to the answer to this is most of them just give you instruction, valid instructions, and then they basically give you an affiliate link. So what would I do to replace that? That's real simple. There's 2 things. So let's talk about the 2 biggest lacks in most of these programs. Number 1, there's no plan. And here's the problem is, I'll be the first to tell you, one wholesaling coach cannot make a plan for everybody. There's not a one size all fits plan. Honestly, everyone's budget different and everybody's skill sets and comfort level is different. Now, you're going to have to learn to get wildly uncomfortable. That's one of the big caveats to what a coach has to do is encourage you to get uncomfortable, because that's the hard part of this business. But let's talk about the 2 things. Number 1, the follow through on your wholesale plan. What is your plan? More specifically, what is your marketing plan? What are the actions? What are the budget? What are the time frames? And have you forecasted it for the entire year? And your wholesale coach should oversee that and make sure you're doing it. Now, it's not the coach's job to do that. It's your job, but this allows your coach to be accountable to you and you be accountable to your wholesale coach. In fact, whenever I've done a coaching program, my biggest struggle is always being implementing a marketing plan. It's quite honestly one of the hardest parts. Most people have no idea what to do. They're just guessing. So what am I going to do? Just hop on a Zoom once a week and go, how many PPL leads should I buy this week? What is your plan? What is your budget? What is your experience? And are you following through with it? And if I want to make you super accountable, I have to have a marketing plan. If you are in a system right now without a marketing plan, an action plan, get one. Get with who's ever instructing and go, listen, what is the plan? Every plan should be different. They be similar, but the reality is every market's different, everyone's ability is different, and everyone's budget is different. So without a marketing plan customized for you, how on earth am I going to keep you accountable? See, because if there's no marketing plan and it's not custom built out for you, your wholesale coach is off the hook. They can tell you anything. Just go market more. Market more doesn't help me become a better wholesaler. In fact, this is why most people fail in wholesaling. And some of you guys think you're relying on the coach to do the accountability for you. I'm going to teach you different methods where you can make yourself accountable, show you tools you can do it, and I want to show you an action plan so you do not fall in this 95% category. See, a lot of people mix up this right here. What's the difference between responsibility and accountability? It's simple. Responsibility is what you're assigned to do, what you're asked to do. And this is where most coaches will tell you what to do, but they don't customize the plan for you. Now, I'm giving you this information to hopefully help you get better results, but you're going to have a plan. I could never lead somebody anybody doing a one-on-one wholesaling if I don't know what your plan is. If you don't have a plan, there's no way for me to make you accountable or me be accountable to you because it's constantly up in your brain. And if you're like me, an ADHD person, it has to be in writing. I know some of people can wing it, but guys, do you want to run a business or do you want a hobby? That's the difference between getting a great wholesaling coach and one that just gives you basic instruction and links. So if we understand that, accountability is basically taking ownership of the outcome, regardless if it's good or bad. See, accountability is simply about ownership and following through. And here's the cool part. You can't blame people if you're going to be accountable. It is the counter opposite. You see, it's very, very easy to blame, and that's what the human mind wants you to do. It's always somebody else's fault. It's market saturation. My coach hasn't helped me. They haven't given me a plan. I get it. There might be gaps, but if you are in that situation, you're with a coach without a plan, why don't you at least ask him or her for it? Whatever, you got in this situation, let's make the best of it. If you paid 10 grand for a program, go back and ask for a plan and make sure you commit to it and make sure it's you and your coach working together, because the plan is the only way to ensure someone's success. Without a plan, you basically plan to fail. And unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles in this situation. So how do we really do follow through on accountability? Everybody talks about it. So let me just give you just 3 simple ways anybody can be accountable. And I'd like you to use a combination of all 3. So number 1, you have an organization or a community, a team, something around you. Join Zach Discord, Wholesaling Houses for Real. You can join our free school group over at freewholesaling.com and find people that are starting out wholesaling and make them your accountability partner. Now, don't rely on them, but find someone that's going to push you. It doesn't cost you a dime. And if people are on the same journey, studies time after time reveal that if people are going after the common goal, they create a bond and they inspire each other. So go out and find somebody in freewholesaling.com in our school community and connect with them. This is the best place to vet people. It's so much better than just going on a Facebook group or going on Instagram or paying for someone's coaching community. Go ahead and join it. It's 100% free. That's one of the easiest places. The next one is just peer-to-peer. These are people like you partner up with. Maybe you have a business partner. Maybe you have a mom, a dad, a sister, a brother, a cousin, an uncle, whatever it is. Somebody you grew up with, somebody you started out with wholesaling, someone you have a natural connection to, and then maybe you guys are doing it together, but peer-to-peer is awesome. Find people that inspire you, that lift you up. If they drain you, I got to ask why you're even doing wholesaling with them. The last one, which is eventually what we all want to do, is personal accountability, which means you're basically taking ownership for your habits, for your outcomes, and you're doing it through your own self-discipline. Now, you have to do this one eventually, because the reality is when things get uncomfortable, I always give you the example when I was younger and my bank account got really low. Let's be honest, it was always low. And sometimes the number would turn red. I would not look at my bank account. I avoided it like the plague. Why? Because it made me wildly uncomfortable. And if I ignore it long enough, maybe it'll go away. And that's a terrible approach. So if you're taking that approach with your wholesaling coach or your wholesaling course, we need to self-direct it. In fact, I'm going to teach you to look at your blaring deficits and go attack them. Plain and simple. The easiest way to take the fear out of something is just go head into it. The longer you avoid it, the bigger the fear monster comes, and you have to take it on. You are going to get uncomfortable. And so when it gets uncomfortable, you just got to learn to stay in it. It is just an emotion you're experiencing. It will pass. It's because it new, it freaks you out, and you're uncomfortable. Your body wants to go back to comfort. You have to, with all your might, resist going back to what's easy and stick to uncomfortable, because you chose wholesaling because you want to make a change in your life. So things are going to get uncomfortable. This is what personal accountability looks like. Let's talk about how to put this all in motion and just simplify it. So once again, I don't want you to go fire your wholesale coach or anything like that. If you're missing some of the pieces I'm talking about, just talk to them. I think most people want you to win. I just think most people copy other people's coaching programs and they do what's easiest to appease the masses. If you need a personal marketing plan, ask for it. And if you can't get it, go find someone that'll help you do it. Without a personal marketing plan, it's really hard to be successful in wholesaling, because someone's going to advise you on what numbers to pull, what areas, how much to spend, figure out your budget, figure out what your strengths and weaknesses, and then have you go and act on the plan. That's where coaching happens. Without a plan, it's not coaching, it's freelance. And if you get 100 people on a Zoom and just trying to figure out, how am I going to get a deal? I don't know, try some PPL, try some cold calling, try a little direct mail. So we have to have a plan. Everybody has to have a plan. You can't move forward with this video unless you have a plan. So now knowing it, I have a 5-step process, what I call the accountability loop. It's very simple. That's why I always try to keep things to 3 to 5 step, because no one's going to remember step 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we simplify it. So number 1, set a clear goal. Where do you want to go? How many deals do you want to get done in the first 3 months? Be brutally honest and set a target. That should excite you, and it gives you visions for you to move forward. The next one is you're going to commit by creating a plan, is more specifically a marketing plan. And what is your marketing plan going to say? It's going to tell you how many leads you want to generate. It's going to tell you the type of marketing meeting you're going to do: cold calling, texting, email, PPL, PPC, direct mail, whatever it is, driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars. It's all in there. The next thing is you're going to set the frequency, how often you're going to do it, meaning the numbers, and that is going to be dependent on your budget. And you can put that together. And then what I want you to do, and I know this is hard to do, I want you to set it for the entire year. So no matter at what point you're watching this video, if you're in January, December, set it for 1 year ahead. You're going to have to learn and see the vision, and don't worry, we can work with it. But most people skip the step, and you want to know why 95% of people fail in wholesaling is because they have no plan to attack. And without a plan, I can't help you. Tony Robbins can't help you. Nobody can help you. You have to help yourself and start with a plan. So if you're working with someone who doesn't have your plan, just ask them. They want to help you, I promise you. Step number 3, then we track our progress. This is where real coaching comes in. We look at what works and we look at what doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you, the stuff that doesn't work is the data that teaches you how to correctly wholesale. You're going to get some bad numbers. We fix it. What is your connection rate on your cold call? What is your connection rate on direct mail? What's the response? What's the average time? How many pieces we sending out? And most importantly, we figure out what a return on investment with this each category. Most coaches are extremely vague in this, because if you really knew the numbers, you might not take that coaching course. You need to know these numbers. And the only way to know these numbers is by implementing a marketing plan and following through. And step number 4, yes, we make adjustments. Here's the secret. We don't just massively keep churning the ship left and right. There's slight course corrections, because if you put in the thought and doing your marketing plan, it should be well thought out. Things change. We get feedback. We get data. Sometimes we're in the wrong price point. Sometimes we're in the wrong market. Sometimes we just flat out have the wrong message, and we adjust, but we stick to the plan. We don't change it. And number 5, probably the most important, a good coach ain't going to let you quit on yourself. And you have to decide yourself, be self-accountable, and say, listen, I am not going to quit. I'm going to go through this accountability loop. And even when I have painful numbers, I'm going to look into them. I'm going to explain the why they're there. More importantly, we're going to figure out how to make the numbers better so you get more deals in your pipeline. And guys, that's all accountability comes down to. Let me just summarize this again. You have to have an actionable marketing plan for somebody to help you to succeed. And honestly, you should have one, even if you don't have a coach or anything, just so you can move forward. And whenever I work with people in the live stream, I ask them what their marketing plan is, and 9 out of 10 people just stare at me with a blank stare. So if you know it's a problem, don't get upset about it. Address it, fix it. It's not that hard. We have plenty of tools over at freewholesaling.com. Guys, I don't want you to be a 95% stat. That is the industry standards for coaching, because we just sign people up, we get them all excited, and then we do a couple Zooms, and then people usually fade. It's just the truth. We all have to do better. And I need you to do better by starting to learn how to be accountable to yourself. How do I do it? I don't whine. I don't blame. I look at the bad numbers, and then I figure out how to move forward with or without a coach to make them better. If you can't do self-accountability, which means telling yourself the truth, we cannot keep you out of that 95% stat. If you'll create a marketing plan and you'll tell yourself the truth, there's no reason why you can't be a successful wholesaler. So guys, do me a favor. If you got value from this, in the comments, let me know if you are now going to be accountable. Because in the end of the day, if you're not accountable to yourself, nobody else can help you. And as usual, if you got value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so other people can find the truth out about wholesaling. This is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in the next video.